Hello, dear friends. My name is Magdalena Ferte. I'm Polish. I'm neurographica instructor and also neurographica specialist, and I represent European Neurographica Center, of course. And today I have the pleasure to speak about our alphabet and this beautiful letter E. And for this part, I've chosen an amazing word which is part of each of us. It's an ego. Each human being has an ego, and I think that we are all familiar about it. And let's deep a little bit in thinking what ego, how we perceived ego in neurographica. Since it's a subject that concerns all of us, and we very fully understand the ego. How neurographica can help us to get know it and calm it, harmonize it a little bit, or even a lot, or change, modulate. Can you imagine how wonderful would it be to have possibility to modulate your ego? Ego is not our enemy. It's just a big we need to shrink. It is an essential part of our psychological structure. And sometimes it takes too much space, or it's on the contrary, contracts and limit us in our development and what we wish to achieve and creates a lot of barriers. So, um, from psychological point of view, ego is our self-image and filter through which we see reality. I think that in this point you can agree with me. To recognize our experiences, it protects us, but can also trap us in our automatic reactions. In daily life, ego may appear in our thoughts, saying, I have to be right, I'm not enough. They have to prove it. Don't do it. And it creates limits that we don't feel comfortable. Um, these mental patterns are often invisible until we consciously can observe it. And what we do in Neurographica, thanks to those beautiful drawings, we can match our ego, we can dissolve it, we can make it soft, and we can put ourselves in the point of the person who observes. Neurographica, through its lines, shapes, and connection, it's a visual tool for our inner transformation. Maybe it sounds like a fairy tale for us, but it's true. Our ego wouldn't understand just a way of saying you're good enough. It's not as important because there are automatical way of reactions that are already programmed in us. Therefore, we need to create visual sensation to make this manipulation. When we draw, we reveal our natural pattern that networks that support um, our behaviors, our change, and different perception. For example, when one line collides with another line, and it's like internal conflicts and resistance of our ego, sometimes it can make us feel uncomfortable. And that's a sign that we touched our ego. And for that, conjoining and beautiful drawings, we can change our sensations, our perceptions, and the ego doesn't have as big as it had before. By rounding the corners and creating new connections, we train our mind to move from um, this hard and strong restrictions to fluidity and feel much better with ourselves. And the paper becomes a mirror where we can see and rewrite the raw ego. The goal is not to destroy our ego. Everyone needs to have an ego, and it's to integrate it in a larger environment. Um, Try to train it, I can say, feel much more comfortable and do not depend on ego. If Neurographica will learn to welcome the ego as a partner, um, to be strong enough to protect our values and flexible enough to make room for new possibilities. Mm, Instead of controlling our reaction, as we don't work with ego, then we can blame ourselves in reacting in the same way. The ego, thanks to Neurographica, will become creative eye in our journey, in our growth. So to make some summary, the ego is a really valuable structure um, that we can work with, that we can feel better with, that we can um, imagine our sensation and perceptions and do not drive through automatic reactions. Neurographica offer us a visual language to dialogue with it, to understand it and to harmonize it. And to what if from now every line we draw become a kind of open conversation with our ego? What do you feel like when we put ourselves in such a position? Do you feel good? I think so. For me, it makes me already smiling. And I would like to invite you for our multiple courses to enroll and learn more about Neurographica, develop your self skills to work with ego and much more. Learn about this beautiful method that is definitely changing your lifestyle and perception. It's your creative way that everyone has inside. I'm here to answer on any questions you may have, same as European Neurographical Center, where it's open to you to enroll for basic user course, specialist, and neurographic instructor. I would like to thank you very much for today's sessions about the letter E, and I encourage you to follow us for the following levels. Thank you all, and goodbye.